We're looking at moving from position 2 to 3. Now we've done this before in the past. So position 2 is here and position 3 is here. Eyes, hands level with the eyes, but I actually prefer it higher. Although it's harder higher, but I actually prefer it there. So this is your minimum height, and anything up above there is absolutely fine. So what we're going to do is so we're going to lift the hands. So the moment they're dangling down here, okay, hopefully you haven't done much with them. You've let them just hang. And you're going to do a pelvic tilt and you're going to sit down and lift your hands up. So you can either go outwards and up, or you can come up and outwards. It doesn't matter. So whichever way you like. So I'm going to go just straight up there, but I'm going to drop my shoulders as I do this. So my weight's now in the middle still. It feels like it's in the middle. Yeah, okay. And now what we're going to do is let's just have a go at what we're going to do. So you now rotate your hands and you lift them up above eye level, height, higher if you want, wherever. Right, okay. So we're going from here, come back to here. And we're going to here. And we're going from here. And we're going to here. Okay. And back to your sides. Now then, you don't need to do anything while I just show you what I do when I do this. So I've got the hands in this position and I've actually engaged a point in the middle of my back, approximately here, somewhere between the two shoulder blades. Yeah, somewhere there, I've engaged that. And what I mean by that is, okay, so your hands are hopefully still down there. We can do this without bending the knees. So just lift your arms up. And would you go do this version out here? Okay, so when you do that version, would you, as you do it, feel that point between your two shoulder blades and make it kind of work? So what's happening is the hands are lifting up this side. And you imagine you've got a ball. If I turn the ball, as this one goes up, this one is going to go down at the same time. So I have a feeling of this point between my shoulder blades connecting. So leave your legs out, as I say, and just lift up and you connect that point in your back and you just relax it and let it go. So you're kind of using your back to help the arms come up. There's a circular, I mean, it's going to be, here's my arms going up and here's my back. It's that, isn't it? So when I do that lifting, okay, so back to zero, forget your legs. So I'm now engaged my back. I'm not trying to push it or anything. I'm very conscious of my back working at the same speed in relaxation as the arms are working in the lifting. Right, now then. So this is position 2 in this particular set of 5 that we're doing. You've now got to get your hands up to here. So what you need to do is you need to engage a bit lower down. So if you put your hands on under your ribs side here, fingers under the ribs, now just put your thumbs there instead and bring your middle fingers together roughly level with where the rib cage is, the bottom of the rib cage, approximately this area here. In other words, it's lower down, isn't it? So it's where the curve of your spine will start, which will disappear when we sit down. That curve actually, to a large extent, straightens out when you sit down. So when we get to this position, so let's now just go into position 2 and we engage higher up between the shoulder blades. And when you lift higher, you engage lower down in the back. So it is lower than you think. It's lower. It's not down here in the small of your back. Put your thumbs on your hip bones. Yeah, thumbs on the hip bones. Now just join your middle fingers together there. Okay, so it's not down there. That's an acupuncture point. We use that acupuncture point for other things, actually. But so this is too low. This one up here is too high. So it's approximately in the middle between those places. Yeah, it's roughly speaking in the middle where you can see I've got my hands there. This is my rib cage coming around here. That's the lower border of my rib cage. Okay, so we're here, neutral. Leave your legs out of this for a minute. Though personally, I think it's easier with the legs, but for the moment, leave them out. Okay, so you are going to engage the upper place first when you do this. So you feel that place on your back. Be conscious and let it settle. Feel like it's dropping. Okay, now you're going to lift up. Now then engage a little bit lower down. It may feel like you're pushing it backwards. It might do, but don't try too hard to push it backwards. Okay, and lower. So you'll find it's easier when we do the legs. Once the legs are in position, the spine is already straightened out. It's easier to feel the lower place. So we're neutral, pelvic tilt, and we're going to lift the up away from us. We're doing that method, not up and out. Okay, so pelvic tilt, no knee bend, and your hands are beginning to lift, shoulders are dropping. And then I engage my knees as well whilst pelvic tilting. Shoulders have dropped, and I've engaged between my shoulder blades as well. I feel that point between my shoulder blades. Now I'm going to lift up higher. So now I start moving the point downwards to lift the hands up to here. I've now engaged lower down my back. I'm in the middle position, if you like. Let's reverse that to the second position. So now take it back to the middle position between your shoulder blades. Middle's the wrong word there. The position between your shoulder blades. Now we're going to lift the hands up and you're going to engage the lower place. So it's really relax the lower part of your spine. Make sure your bottom's tucked under. It doesn't work so well if you don't. And then back to this position. So now we're between the shoulder blades. And now you're going to lift up, so you now engage lower down the spine, and you feel like that's working. So just stay there 2 seconds. In effect, what's happening is this line coming down here, this line is coming down to this place here. It's like they're connected, as though this action is working the arms up. Whereas when I'm here, this place works the arms to there. So you can relax. So it's it's a bit like you're using the mechanics of a crane. You know, I mean, when I was a kid, I had a toy crane, you know, and you wound the little handle and the crane would lift up here and, you know, you went to where you wanted to. So, but it's like the engine was in here. Yeah. The windy bit was in here. So, and that just made the crane's arm lift up. So when I'm up here, I need to really engage to the engine of the crane. And when I'm gone to here, I need to engage again to the engine of the crane, but it's going to be level. Yeah. So if you were to take the hands even higher and you were to go up here, and this is a perfectly relevant Qigong position, the point is going to be even lower still. You just need to engage somewhere else in your back. And this word engage doesn't mean you force it out. It means you are aware of it and you use it to counterbalance the crane. It's rather like, back on cranes a second, yeah, the arms, sorry, that's the crane, because I was thinking what I was going to say next, which is that if you watch modern cranes, you know, on a building site, you know, one of these when they're building a skyscraper, and the thing is hundreds of feet up there, and they've got the crane sticking out over here. They've got a weight which they counterbalance. They can shift it up and down depending on what they're trying to do with this side. They can shift this weight and move it to counterbalance the crane. So that weight is the same as on the crane itself, and same on your back when you're doing here. So when you're up here, you need to drop your weight lower, as it were, and only the weight in our case goes up and down the spine. It's that feeling.